dust is in my eyes, my blood is on the ground. Quiet little chuckle and the shuffling of the boots of the coward that shot me down. He turns toward the sunrise and I hear her softly say, I guess you've met your macho man as the colors fade to gray.
Howdy, partners. Dust and Blood is a rabble-rousing, rootin'-tootin', bronco-bustin' podcast not suitable for the ears of young'uns. Take a gander at the content warnings and listen with care.
Welcome to Dust and Blood, a narrative play podcast set in the wild, weird fantasy West. I'm Blake, your GM, and our players are Keith Curtis as Jasper Graves, Corinne Hill as Myra Sting, Zach Parker as Maz Copernicus Pryor, and Gail Parker as Bonesaw. Last time on Dust and Blood, our heroes investigated undead attacks in Albuquerque. After talking with the sheriff and the undertaker and examining a mysterious halfway house, the group went to the graveyard and found more than they bargained for. All of you are laying in this pile, Bonesaw at the bottom, and Smokey having landed on top of all of you.
Ugh.
You know, normally I'm a fan of a group hug, but this is a bit squishy.
Get off me!
I'm trying.
Smokey, roll over gently.
Smokey neighs, rolls off of you, and gives you all the chance to get up and brush yourself off. As you look around, you see this beautiful street that was described before. It feels very London-esque. It has the look of an old Victorian town, brownstone buildings going up on either side of a wide cobblestone street, but it's the little details that make it feel odd. The fog that hangs around you, rather than feeling like the smog of an industrialized city, feels like the fresh mist off of the morning lake. The light posts that go up are made of this strange glistening wood and glow with a blue flame at the top. Most of them. Several of them are unlit, and the cobblestones themselves have grass and moss growing up between the stones where mortar would normally be. You also all see this floating sign that Bonesaw noticed when he first fell in that reads, "Welcome yon travelers to the Witchmarket," in various languages depending on what you can read. The sign, which is just kind of hanging there in the air, is picked up by two little fairies that go flying by. They grab it and just whoop, disappear into the fog.
So I've been in a lot of graves, but none quite like this.
Bones, what kind of mess did you get us into this time?
What do you mean? I just tripped and fell in. This isn't my fault.
Oh, it's the damn Witchmarket.
I'm cogitating that one of y'all made a wish.
Myra slowly turns to Bonesaw.
I don't understand why you're looking at me. It could have been any one of us who made a wish.
Myra, the pocket that you have the Witchmarket coin in, you feel it tugging in it, as if there's something moving.
She reaches into her pocket and pulls out the coin.
When you held this coin before, it looked old and scuffed up, but as you look at it now, it looks brand new, freshly minted. It is perfectly shiny. You can see your face reflected in it. And looking at the face of the crone, you see it blink once, twice.
She drops and goes, ah! Drops the coin on the ground.
The coin falls, ding, 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 and starts rolling
Grab it!
down towards the left, towards the fog.
Damn it, Myra!
Oh no!
Let it go, let it go. It's evil.
Bonesaw runs after it.
Well then, fog
Okay.
it!
Bonesaw starts to take off into the fog by himself.
I'm running after.
Okay, Jasper goes. Moz and Myra, are you going after the two of them?
In for a penny, in for a pound. Yeah, Mom and running.
Myra takes a moment to pinch the bridge of her nose and breathe for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then goes, okay, we're going. And she, after she's calmed down, she goes after Moz.
All right. Bonesaw, give me a reflex save.
14?
It takes you about 20 steps to catch after this coin. This coin is moving. Like, you wouldn't think that a normally dropped coin like this would really be able to keep moving, especially over cobblestone, but it seems to have done it.
Don't worry, Myra, I've got it for you!
You turn around and you don't see anyone.
Oh,
You just see the fog.
right. Is the coin on the ground?
Yes.
Bonesaw will pick it up.
He picks it up, and the fog pushes away from him slightly. Just enough that he's able to catch a glimpse of Jasper, who is barreling towards him with Smokey. And then quickly, Moz and Myra. You realize, Jasper, you had lost sight of Bonesaw for just a moment, but then suddenly the fog kind of cleared up a little bit, giving you sight of him.
Well, now, this fog is thicker than pea soup.
Why?
Hold on here. I don't know if the others can... Just a sec. I'm going to light a match and see if that will give any of the others in the fog a clue as to where we are.
Yeah, shortly after Moz and Myra, you see the little flame light up, go towards it, and you rejoin Bonesaw and Jasper. Everybody give me a perception check.
I thought we learned a lesson about getting separated.
Well, I was...
Natural 20, 36.
Oh, man.
Nice! 26.
Oh, that is fantastic.
25.
23.
Okay, so the lowest of that is 23.
I don't know how, but yes.
Everybody sees, as Bonesaw is holding the coin, the little crone on it, her head is spinning a little bit, and her eyes are rolling in her head like she was dizzy from getting spun around.
Oh, poor thing. I feel bad now.
It's still in profile, like on a coin, but her eye looks out at you, Bonesaw, as you're holding the coin, and she just gives this big, toothy grin.
Hello?
Bonesaw, Myra, and Jasper.
Is this because I rolled a 23 on perception?
Yes. You all begin to see some figures in the fog approaching.
Hello? Hello? A friend or foe?
They're getting closer. All you see of them are these outlined silhouettes. And Jasper, because you rolled a nat 20 specifically, you see 2, 4, 6, 12 of these figures approaching.
It's a whole crowd.
While you have seen people in the mist before and the silhouettes, you're from Boston. You know how these kind of foggy mornings can get. There's something wrong with these people as you're looking at them. Specifically, they don't appear to be all the way there.
Everybody, heads up and keep your eyes sharp. There's something unnatural about these folks coming. I don't think they's all there.
They're all coming from the same direction. The direction that you all just ran from.
I am going to get to the side of the street. I assume we're still on this cobbled street.
Yes.
Kind of in the shelter of a stoop or something like that. And I'm doing my best to look nonchalant, like I belong here. I'm gonna relight my cigarette with the remains of my match. If I still got anything left on that match, I had a roll up just before we started, but I did fall through a giant hole and probably did not keep hold of the cigarette on the way down.
Since Myra said something, she's not going to try to hide, but she's going to just pull out her rifle and not necessarily point it at anybody yet. She's going to have it in her hands and be like, "Excuse me, fine folk, I am lost. I'm completely by myself. Could you..."
Hey!
Moz, damn it! I was trying to cover for you!
I think Bonesaw will lean against the wall with Jasper. He feels like he's fucked up enough recently, and he's gonna try to follow someone else's lead for a minute.
Poor Bonesaw, I feel
Well,
bad.
apparently Maz doesn't see shit.
He's the fun one.
These figures in the fog keep walking past. They pass all of you by. Myra, make a reflex save for me. That's a nat 20.
Hey, 3
Okay.
total. She's on edge. She is ready.
Moz,
Yep.
were you in the middle of the street too?
Yeah, he doesn't know what's going on.
Okay, make a reflex save for me.
Why am I getting fucked over by rolls tonight? Come on! 16, not a nat 20.
That's okay. The DC was 15. As all of them walk past you, Myra and Moz, you think for a second they're going to, walk around you, do something. They walk almost right into you, and you barely get out of the way of them as you feel this cold, icy breeze go past you. It feels like death, as these figures that you can't quite make out, they are fuzzy silhouettes, even up close, where you should be able to make out details. You see some people in coats and top hats. You see some people in long flowing dresses. You see some that are shambling. You see very tall, some very short figures as they walk past you and disappear.
Not exactly the talkative type.
Do their feet make any sounds as they pass?
They make no sound whatsoever. In fact, it sounds like a...
To clarify, we are in the eave of a doorway next to a road, but we can't see either side of the road because the mist is so thick.
You can see across the road, but you can't see looking down the road. It's a long, straight road, but you can't really see in either direction stuff that's going on.
Okay. Is there a door behind us?
There is a door behind you.
Do we want to ask for some directions? Maybe they're friendly. Not the ghost people, the people behind the door.
I would not be knocking on anybody's door if I were you. Suddenly, as you're turning from the fog around you, you see what looks like a tiefling man with blue hair, narrow blue eyes, alabaster skin, and 2 sets of black curved horns coming out of his head, reaching around. He's wearing a blue vest and has what appears to be a belt wrapped around his neck, kind of hanging down. Fairly nice clothes, and he's wearing a pair of high heels, blue and fairly robust heels.
Howdy, stranger.
You don't want to be knocking on that door, I don't think. That's a home of a rather upset little sprite. Doesn't take too well to mortals.
Well, sir, you have us at a disadvantage. We are unexpected travelers here. Can you give us a little bit of lowdown on the bird's eye view of where we are?
Well, absolutely. Call me Jack.
Jack.
All right. Hello, Jack.
And you all seem like you have... you seem a bit lost and all alone.
What was your first clue?
He gives you a smile that's just a little too wide and has slightly too many teeth.
Ooh.
If you would like, I could be a guide for you, help you around the Witchmarket.
Oh, that would be so helpful of you.
Well, I wouldn't be doing it for free, of course. If I could just have a few moments of your time.
Wait.
Certainly.
Wait
What
now.
do you mean by a few moments of your time?
That could be a couple of hours off your life there.
Oh, I'm helping out this gentleman. He's already agreed to it, and I see no reason why we cannot continue.
I don't understand.
He does speak for all 4 of you,
Nope.
I assume.
Nope. Not for me. Not for me. He speaks for himself, and sometimes we should speak for him, Bonesaw, because I just want to protect you. You understand that, right? And he's like grabbing Bonesaw's shoulders, and it's like, we're just trying to protect you, buddy. I promise.
We are traveling together, but we are a collection of autonomous, rugged individualists, and we don't necessarily speak for each other. What do you mean by a few moments of his time?
Just that. He will give me a bit of his time. Not even all that long. 12 seconds or so.
Well, this is up to you.
But if only he wants my help, then I suppose I will only speak to him. Isn't that right, Mr. And as he says, isn't that right? You all see his mouth moving, but only Bonesaw hears any words coming out of his mouth.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm cool with 12 seconds.
Sorry, sir, I didn't quite catch that.
Oh, I'm speaking to the one who's paid me. The rest of you, if you care to pay for my services, I am more than willing to help.
It's fine, I can translate. I'll just tell you what he says.
Oh, then tell them that if they want to know the information, they have to pay up. And this is only to Bonesaw.
If they want to know it, or if they want to hear it from you, because couldn't I give it freely?
Give what?
He gives you that smile again.
The information.
There's some kind of fairy flim-flammery going on here.
He says if you want the information, you also have to pay up.
As soon as Bonesaw starts saying that, you all hear Bonesaw's voice just completely garbled. It sounds like he's speaking backwards.
Can I tell I'm garbled speech, or do I think I said it correctly?
You think you said it correctly.
Bonesaw looks at you all expectantly.
Bones, you've completely lost it.
What? I'm just trying to negotiate to get a guide. We're pretty lost, Moz.
You all hear that.
Can Bonesaw understand us?
Bonesaw can understand you. It seems that whatever Jack said to Bonesaw was not able to say back to you all.
Huh, it's like filtered.
Okay.
Well, now you're offering your services as a guide, Mr. Jack, but what kind of qualifications do you have? What kind of guarantees to your knowledge? Are you a member of good standing in this community?
Oh, nobody's a member of good standing in this community. Unless you count Agus. But she runs the whole thing, so she's the only one.
Well, thank you for that bit of information. Got that for free.
Jack smiles and says, I've been living here for near on 2 centuries or so, and I'm actually one of the few of these fairies who actually makes regular rejoinders to your hometown of, what was it called? London?
London?
Yeah, it ain't our town. It's a different country.
Well, every place is London. Besides, do any of you speak Sylvan?
No.
He gives you kind of a shrug and like, what are you gonna do?
Do you, by chance, know a fae by the name of Westglen?
Or any little rabbity fellows with the horns.
Let me roll something for him. Jack, rolling with my usual skill of a nat 1, looks at all of you and says, not all fae know each other.
Fair. That's fair. Sorry. That was a dick move. I apologize. I will be better in the future.
Well, no, I don't think that's unwarranted. Westglen was pretty highly placed as far as we could tell. She seemed like she was a person of note. And if Jack doesn't know a person of note, I can't say that I can hold too much to their qualifications as a guide. Thank you for your time, Mr. Jack. But I don't think I'll need your services. And I'm staring right at him. I have no idea what I'm doing, but that's what I'm doing.
Very well. And the rest of you?
I'll take my chances.
Look me up later, maybe. We're gonna, try it on our own for now.
Jack pats Bonesaw on the back and says, very well. I will be around if you need some guidance.
Nice to meet you, Jack. Toodaloo.
Goodbye. And he steps back into the mist and disappears.
Now, Bonesaw,
Yes.
as far as I can tell, and I have read some fairy type stories to my kids when they was a long time ago, and it is in my opinion that you have actually struck a deal there, and yeah, you might have given that feller 12 seconds, but as far as I know, that kind of stuff is binding, and he owes you guidance. So if you feel you need to call on him, I think your deal's already struck.
Oh, that's really cool.
Well, that was just my opinion now.
I thought we should stay on friendly terms, even if we aren't going to, go with his services necessarily. No need to anger people when we're in a strange place.
You have an empty street going in both directions. Give me a perception check again.
Holy cow, twice in a row.
Holy
Natural 20.
fucking shit!
23.
Fog? What fog? Where we're going, we don't need fog.
Jesus.
Ari got a 16. Oz got a 13.
Yep. Bottom of the food chain again.
Fuck. That's interesting. Bonesaw, you see the coin is kind of giving you eyebrows and moving its head in the direction that you were originally running in, that you were following the coin as it was rolling. You also notice what appears to be an alleyway. Doesn't seem like it was there before. It was forward and off to your left as you're standing, kind of in the direction that you were going. Jasper, you see all of this, but in addition, you see what appears to be a sign that was hung up by the alley that has fallen down and was kind of kicked off to the side. You can't read anything on it from where you're at, but you do see it. And you also, I will say, because you got that nat 20, you know that alleyway was not there before. And it's also almost the exact place where Jack disappeared into the fog.
All right. Now, there's an alleyway over this way, and I could swear to the stars above that it was not here but a minute ago. But there is a fallen sign over there. Now, I'd like to go and read that sign, but I do not want to get out of eyeshot of the rest of us.
You won't be.
Through this bizarre fog. Yeah, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to see if I can decipher that sign.
You pick it up and turn it over, and it is written in Sylvan.
Yeah.
So, I didn't mention it when Jack was here. Normally, I could cast something called tongues that would let me speak back and forth. I have expended that magic for today. But I do have comprehend languages, a scroll of comprehend languages. So, if you want, I could cast that on one of us, and we could at least hear what people are saying.
Bones, is there anything you don't have?
Common sense, I've been told at times.
Well, I can't argue with that, but you do seem to be a veritable cornucopia of usefulness at times.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea.
Give it to Jasper. He's got the best eyes.
All right. Should last about an hour and a half.
Yeah, well, I don't have a watch on me, as is a well-established fact, and I don't know if time necessarily works the same here. That there feller said he was 200 years old. Did not look a day over 19 or 30. I don't know. Hard to tell. It would probably be a good idea for us to be able to speak the language, and we're going to need to know where to go. Now, will it let me read as well as speak?
You can understand the spoken words of creatures or read otherwise incomprehensible written messages. But it won't let you speak back.
So I can understand, but I can't make myself understood.
Yes.
But I figure that I am an American, and if I speak slowly and clearly enough with lots of hand gestures, I should be able to make myself understood.
Don't forget to speak loudly as well. That helps.
Oh, and loudly. Loudly, that's a big help.
Right on.
God bless America.
Bonesaw pulls out the scroll. He spends a minute reading it. If you peek over his shoulder, you can see it's covered in, like, arcane text.
Read all that jibber jabber and you can't read Sylvan.
Listen, I studied to read this kind, all right?
All right, I did not go to Harvard. I do not have a degree in jibber jabber. You do your thing. I will be your willing recipient. Myra, catch me if I fall.
I got you, buddy.
You know, I speak 6 languages, Jasper. That's quite a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah, well, you got me by 1.
He'll read off the recipe and chant an elixir and hand it to Jasper.
All right. Jasper, you down the potion and pick up the sign to read it again. And in big block red letters, it reads, Murderer's Alley.
So glad that you cast that. Thank you. Thank you.
What does it say?
I would like to point out that last game, putting that sigil on 2 different pieces of paper apparently saved our lives. I'm 2 for 2. All right, folks. I'd like to point out that our so-called guide just disappeared down place with the moniker of Murderer's Alley. I suggest we not take Murderer's Alley. And we do our best to avoid Murderer's Alley. Which way was that there coin rolling when Bonesaw was chasing after it?
Oh, it's making a lot of faces at me, pointing sort of in that direction. And he points down the road further away from where we started.
Well, now wait a second. When you say the coin is making faces at you and pointing, what?
Bonesaw holds it up.
It has turned around to face in the other direction, so that it's facing the same direction that it just was.
Whoa.
Basically, it flipped which direction it was looking, and it's using its eye and kind of nodding its head.
Well, I'd trust the advice of a coin.
Well, we've hung on to that coin a lot longer than we've known Jack. I'm inclined to follow this here coin.
I agree.
Let's leave the murderous blue cupcake behind and follow the coin.
Right on.
All right, then.
We follow the coin down the street. As we're walking, Bonesaw wants to ask Jasper, so you've had some dealings with the Fae before? I mean, other than Westglen?
Jasper's eyes are darting everywhere as they go, partly in an attempt to see through the fog and partly to maximize the time afforded by this potion, trying to see any readable thing. But he will respond to Bonesaw. Well, no, I can't rightly say that I've had any kind of contact with the Fae other than what the rest of us have had. I just read, collections of stories to my kids.
Anything you picked up we should know?
All right, well, let me think back. As I recall, fairies place a great deal of emphasis on personal obligations, politeness, and they're not likely to necessarily lie, but they will bend the truth like a pretzel. I would say that good manners are a coinage here. They do like to misrepresent themselves. I doubt that our Jack actually looked like that. Could actually be their true form, or they could be a cat for all we know. Fairies are notorious for being able to present themselves with a glamour or a semblance or appearance that is not actually what they are. They can be very tricky, and think carefully about the words they use, because they can trick you. For instance, a moment of your time that was quite literal. I would be very careful, Bonesaw, that something might happen. A lot can happen in 12 seconds.
It sounds like, though, sort of like Westglen. They tend to trade in, fuzzy things that aren't entirely real.
Yes, ephemeral things, memories, feelings, emotions, time. Just be careful.
And would you say they have really cool stuff? I mean, it is called the Witchmarket.
Well, I would imagine you could buy whatever your heart desires here.
Is the loot good?
right, good to know, good to know. You know quite a lot about Fae.
Well, as I said, this is only from stories. I don't know how accurate they are. From what I understand, there was a pair of brothers in Germany who spent quite an amount of time traveling the Fae realms and gathering information, collating them into storybooks. But I have no idea what their editorial process was. They might have embellished quite a bit.
Sounds pretty grim.
Well, now I'm wishing that I had said that.
Jack jumps out and just stabs you 1,000 times.
I deserve that one.
As you're walking and as Jasper is explaining this, you notice that a few more of the lanterns around the sides are out. And you begin to hear a click, a tapping of metal on cobblestone. Tap, tap, tap. And you begin to see another silhouette approaching you out of the fog.
Alright, well this one's making a noise. Everyone stay sharp. This feels a little more menacing than the silent shadows. I'm not going to draw my gun, but I'm going to have my hand on the handle. And I'm ready to mount up on Smokey if it needs it.
Tap. As the figure approaches, it is rail thin, but tall. Taller than Bonesaw.
Oh!
Ooh.
And it's wearing some sort of light on its head. Tap. Tap. Approaching closer.
I will move off to one side again. Come on, Smokey. Let's hug the wall here and let this person pass if they've a mind to.
Awful ugly creature. Hate to be him.
Politeness.
Or her.
Politeness. Big thing on politeness.
Loudly does Moz say this.
Not like shouting, but just normal conversation. Probably gonna regret that, but
Just painting it on a doorway.
he's not trying to be silent per se.
It appears that my luck is holding as I rolled a 1 for its perception.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God.
It continues to approach before stepping out of the fog. Is a creature unlike anything any of you have seen. It appears to be an ambulatory lamppost. It has the head of one of these lamps glowing orange, unlike the blue lights that are around you. But it has arms, legs, a body, and in fact, it is wearing what appears to be a double-breasted peacoat with a scarf up around its neck. It has an umbrella that it's carrying in its hand that you notice has a little flame at the end of it, and that appears to be what it was tapping as it was walking. It steps into the area of light that has been produced, shedding its own light from its head as its finely tailored shoes clack on the cobblestone. It looks over all of you, cocking its head to the side, and you hear this, nothing more than the hiss of gas coming from it as it looks at you. Except for Jasper, who still has Comprehend Languages up. You understand that it is saying, more of those mortals. They have been coming more and more frequently, falling in through the cracks of the world. As long as they do not muss up our fair town. And it turns, looks at one of the lamps, steps over to it, opens it with its dainty fingers, and holds the umbrella up, lights it on fire, closes it, steps to the next one. Time to wake up, brother. Lights it, closes it, and as it steps back, this pole shudders and begins to twitch, and then 2 arms break out of it as it begins to expand
This is so fucking cool.
and form into the shape of another one of these creatures. The first one pulls from under its coat another set of clothing and hands it to the second one. He turns back to all of you, bows, and then begins to walk on.
I'd like to address him during that turn and bow.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I'm going to duplicate the same bow in response, and I'm going to speak, although I don't know if my language will be understood. I will say, "Good evening to you, sir. Can you point out the way to the Witchmarket?"
A good evening to you too, sir. All of you still hear this hissing that just sounds like gas rushing through a pipe. Jasper, you can understand it perfectly and says, "I apologize, good mortal, but I doubt you can understand me if you here do."
I do understand you.
The creature starts back a little bit, and its head lamp glows a little bit brighter and turns almost a more yellow color and says, "My, a cultured one who understands Ignan. That is rare, even among the Fae here."
Well, it is a temporary charm, sir, but I am glad to be able to converse with you. You are a very interesting individual, and I am a stranger here. And you look to be a person who is good at giving guidance and illuminating the darkness. We are here on the invitation of Westglen, but we have never been here before. We're on our way to the Witchmarket, if you could be so kind as to indicate the direction.
That was so fucking polite. You don't even have to roll
I'm
diplomacy.
terrified.
This is why we give the comprehend languages to Jasper
Yes.
and not Bonesaw.
He bows again and says, "Of course, if you follow this way," and he indicates the direction that you were going, "you will find yourself in the Witchmarket proper. From there, you should be able to find whatever it is you're looking for, whether it's a drink at Ray's, something at the auction house, or if you have come here on the request of Westglen. You may need to look around and to find what you are looking for."
Could I make an insight check? Because there was a little hiccup there. There's a little hitch in his voice when he said the name Westglen.
Yes.
Is it sense motive?
Yeah, sense motive.
10. I'm back on track.
A 10. All you get is that he's familiar with Westglen, but not necessarily on good terms with Westglen.
Okay.
That's the most you could probably tell with a 10. He continues and says, "I would recommend if you will accept a bit of advice.
Yes, sir?
Do not trust the words of the old Fae.
Ooh.
They seek only their gain. And when it's time for you to leave..." Are you still smoking your cigarette, Jasper?
Yeah, I think I still am.
He reaches out and takes the cigarette out of your mouth, holds it between his fingers, and it begins to glow brightly, almost like a match. And he places it in your hand as a little flame burns on the end of it. When it is time for you to leave, follow the light.
I will, sir. And thank you. You have been most kind. We'll take your words to heart. I'll explain in a minute. I say out of the side of my mouth to my compatriots who are probably, what's he saying?
Myra's just standing there keeping her mouth shut. She's not messing this up. She's just waiting.
Okay.
He straightens again, turns to his friend who's gotten fully dressed at this point and says, "Come, young Lamplighter, it is time for us to continue to make this realm a brighter place."
I love them.
And they walk off.
I bow as they walk off. All right. That fellow there was the Lamplighter.
Did you find out where he got his coat? That's such a cool coat.
I did not ask. However, I believe, like I said, anything you're curious about might be found. Now, apparently the coin is leading us in the proper direction. Apparently that Lamplighter goes around not only lighting lamps, but just waking up other lamps and dressing them like himself. Says he has some sort of job of making the world a brighter place. Now, he did warn us that West Glen and what he called the other older Fae are not always to be trusted, and are mostly out for their own personal gain. So I don't rightly know how much we can expect here, but yeah, be on your toes.
Did he like your cigar?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he took that cigarette. Right at him. Apparently, when we need to go home, this here cigarette is going to show us the way.
Oh.
This, the fire here. I have a feeling this just ain't going to go out until it's time to go. I'm looking at it now as I'm holding it in my hand. Does the bright flame appear to be consuming the paper and tobacco?
It does not appear to be consuming it. It is holding steady, and you notice that the flame, rather than going just straight up, is tilted back in the direction that you came from.
So this here is like a compass, it looks like. We just need to follow the flame to get back to where we need to get out. Is there heat to this flame?
There is no heat.
Oh, that's a nifty little trinket you got there.
I'm going to carefully stick it behind my ear and see if it sets my hair on fire.
It does not. And even when it's held and covered by your hair, it doesn't seem to dampen the flame at all.
That is so cool.
It seems like it's just continuing to burn.
All right. Take it out of there, and instead I'm going to put it in the front of the brim of my hat.
That's a cool look.
Hey, everybody, I'm a lamplighter.
So, did he tell you when we're supposed to leave then?
He did not give us the specifics on that.
Suppose we could go right now if we fancy.
He was a little concerned about... Apparently there's been a lot of mortals showing up lately, and he was a little concerned about mortals messing up the place. Now, this might have something to do with their incursion that we ran into along the railroad. Maybe there is some leakage of people going back and forth. I don't know.
Could be tied to those ghosts we almost bumped into.
Ooh, that is a possibility. Those could be people what did not make it out. All right, everybody stay together, I think. Don't go wandering off on your own. And although he is addressing the crowd, somehow his gaze is locked on Bonesaw.
Bonesaw nods as if this is advice for everyone in the group.
Yeah, you tell him. All right, I think we need to press on, because I don't rightly know how much time we got here. Maybe as we're walking along, what are folks looking for here?
Oh. You know, I sort of thought that I'd just run into things that looked enticing. I don't exactly have a shopping list, but, you know.
Well, the only thing I can think of that we were really looking for, and this is already a done bargain as far as I know, is that West Glen had promised to provide legal counsel to try and get Maz out of his contract.
Yep, got the slip right here.
Maz has receipts.
Maz, when you pull out that piece of paper, it has changed as well.
Ooh.
And now it reads Dread Dost, Esquire. And then the text of the address changes. It says Solar Court, Winter Court, Witchmarket. And then stays on the Witchmarket.
I guess it, piece of paper that can write itself. That's very interesting and concerning all in one. Suppose I have something I gotta be perusing for then.
It continues underneath it, the Clocktower.
Oh.
So maybe you can meet your lawyer here and get a start on your case. Mr. What's that say? Dread Dost?
It does.
That is not a name of ill portent at all.
Yeah, not really looking forward to lawyers. They're a little bit too blood-sucking for my taste, but I suppose I need to find one somewhere or other. Let's go find this Witchmarket.
They are just a touch shy less scary than eternal damnation, so...
Not by much.
You all begin walking towards the market, and now that you've been given directions, all of a sudden, things seem to be changing more rapidly. You almost feel like you're moving quicker. Not by any dint of you walking faster, it just feels like you're making much better progress. Suddenly, it seems like you have come out of this corridor and out of this fog, and suddenly, boom, you find yourself on the edge of this giant circular opening, so far across that you almost can't see the other side. Definitely not through the fog, though it is much lighter here. It is beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous. As you look around, you see hundreds of shops, little carts set up, more of these gas lanterns hanging from wires across the way. Groups of these just completely alien-looking fae crossing your path. You see a group of satyrs bounding across, a small group of brownies just rolling across the ground, passing you by. There are people sitting in these stalls calling out in all sorts of languages. You hear Common, you hear Sylvan, you hear languages that have been lost to time. You hear some druidic languages that you wouldn't expect, and it is as much a feast for all of the senses. You smell fresh-baked bread. You hear the din of instruments being played. You can feel almost this vibration, this energy in the air of magic. Not just untamed magic, but truly wild magic that is used without cost here. You see a tower off in the distance, a large domed building that has some sort of spire on top that looks almost like a scales. You see another building that appears to have giant block letters in red and appears to have some sort of witch lights outlining it, giving it almost what we would recognize as a Hollywood marquee view, but your characters would not really have the context for that just says Rey's, R-E-Y''S.
And that was a place where I believe we can get libations. Get ourselves something to drink.
Ooh, gotta stop by there.
You hear what appears to be gunfire off in another direction. And in the center of all of this, you see a massive fountain with a carved statue standing at the top of it. It appears, as you are staring up at it, that it is looking directly at you.
Whoop.
You can't, from this distance, make out what it is a statue of, but you know in your core that that is the root of the Witchmarket. That is where all of this comes from. And the coin that is in your hand, Bonesaw, seems to be looking up at the fountain.
Bonesaw immediately forgets all of Jasper's advice, dashes 2 feet to the right, sees something else, dashes 2 feet to the left, and then just twirls in a circle. You can't see his eyes with the goggles, but you imagine they're huge and sparkling.
Does anyone by chance have a leash on them?
I don't want to alarm no one, but that statue in the middle of the fountain, it's looking right at me.
Maybe you're special, Jasper.
Maybe so.
Myra moves a bit further away from Jasper to see if it follows her or sticks with Jasper.
It follows her, from her perspective.
Nope, looking right at me still.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because I think it's looking at me. Oh, well, it's probably some sort of fey trick.
Bonesaw actually pulls out 50 feet of rope and ties it around his waist and hands the other end to Maz and says, "This way, I can look get whatever I want, and I don't have to worry about wandering too far.
Bones, people are looking at us weird.
I mean, you did ask for a leash.
I'm the Witchmarket. Anything goes.
This is a rare moment of maturity for Bonesaw.
I was gonna say, he's literally...
This needs to be encouraged.
I've got a hunch. Myra, I think you need to put the coin in the fountain.
Oh. Can I see the coin real quick?
Certainly, here.
Myra looks at the face of the coin and kind of nudges her head towards the fountain and asks, excuse me, ma'am, do you want to go to the fountain?
The head nods.
Okay.
A smart idea, Moz.
They happen.
Okay, she kind of slithers forward a little hesitantly, but starts to make her way to the fountain.
Okay. Myra's taking point.
I don't know if that's a good
Who's
idea.
behind Myra?
Uh-oh.
I guess Moz is walking Bones like a dog.
Bones is definitely behind Myra. He's following.
Okay. And then, Jasper, you're bringing up the rear?
Yes, with Smokey.
Excellent. You all begin to wander through this market, and it is... There are no other words for it other than miraculous. You see these fae just hawking their wares. At one point, as you're making your way towards the fountain, you see there's one young-looking woman sitting in a stall with a bunch of what looks like black fabric hung up over some railings. And she leans out with this grin as Bonesaw passes and says, "Oh my, you cut the most wonderful shadow figure. Please, sir, how much for your shadow?"
Oh.
And she gives a grin.
Oh, what are you offering?
Come, let me take a look. And she clambers up with slightly too long arms.
Like talking to a fence post.
Look, I just want to know what the possibilities are.
Holds it, actually reaches down and picks your shadow up off the ground.
Oh, that feels strange.
Yeah, it feels cold as she's lifting it up. This... Oh, it cuts a wonderful figure. Look at this nose. Oh, I suppose I could give you 5 names.
Whose names?
I'm not certain. It would be whatever I have on hand. And she opens up a book.
Well, I don't want your shoddy bottom of the barrel names. I want to make sure they're good ones.
As you say this, her long ears kind of perk up. She turns towards you and scowls, slams her book shut, slams it on the ground, and says, "Very well, if that's how you feel," and takes your shadow and throws it back on the ground, and it feels like you just got punched in the gut as it hits the ground.
Sorry, I really didn't mean to offend. I'm just a little new here. I'm still figuring things out. My bad.
"May you trip over your own tongue, mortal," she says in Sylvan. You do not understand it. You definitely understand that, Jasper.
I'll save that for after this altercation is over. I do not want to make this situation any worse than it already is.
Well, Bones, to me it seems like you already have a name, so I don't think they're selling anything here that we're interested in.
I don't know. I could trade them elsewhere. Who knows? She said whatever she had on hand. It sounded sort of... I don't know. Never mind. Carry on to the fountain.
I'm going to look at Bonesaw's shadow. Does it look natural now? Is it duplicating Bonesaw's movements and such, or...?
It is, but it looks unlike how a shadow normally looks. It now almost feels like he's dragging a piece of fabric behind him with the way that it moves across the ground and kind of is bumping. And Bonesaw, you definitely feel every time you go over a slightly bigger lump than usual on the ground, you feel this jostling in your body, like something's hitting you, but you're not sure what.
All right, no, I have to go fix this. Sorry. He yanks on the other end of the leash and comes up against.
Maz barely regains his balance as Bones rushes off. Easy, Bones!
Wait a second, Bones, I have an idea.
All right.
All right, stand real still. Wow, you're a tall drink of water. Is there anything I can stand on
Oh, thank you.
nearby?
Yeah, you see a little box next to a jar filled with eyes that you see
Okay.
occasionally are just blinking, looking at you.
All right, as long as the box doesn't look precious or flimsy, I'm going to stand up on it so that I can actually hold my arm above Bones. I'm going to say, stand real still, Bones. I'm going to take the cigarette out of my hat,
Ooh.
and I'm going to hold it up to Bones and let the cigarette, the light from the lamplighter, cast Bones' shadow.
Oh,
And see if that has any effect on it.
Oh, please work, please work. This would be so cool.
We're off the map now, boys and girls.
As you hold this up, this light, Bonesaw, all of the other lamps and everything around you go dim.
I have the decency to look embarrassed.
And suddenly you feel this flattening feeling. And then suddenly all of that weirdness, that out-of-body experience that you were feeling goes away.
Oh, you recasted Jasper. Thank you. That's much better.
I totally meant to do that. All right. I think I understand a little more as we're going along. And I could be totally wrong, but people here are trading in names, memories, time. Everything seems to be just kind of, this is a world of imagination. It's my take on it anyway. Just believe in what you're doing. I had no idea if that would work. It just seemed like it seemed like it was poetically correct that it should. And that might be enough. I don't know. How's your shadow feeling there? It's looking better.
Oh, it fits so much better now. That was weird.
Good. I'm glad we didn't have to find a little English girl to sew it back on.
Myra, you're up front. Give me a perception check.
Okay. 31.
31. As you're listening and watching this whole exchange, you hear a very familiar sound to you. You hear the cocking of a gun.
She, on instinct, grabs her rifle with the coin kind of still tucked in her palm and points it in the direction of the cocking of the gun.
You look off in the distance and you see a shack. Not one of these small tents that you've been seeing, but an actual shack. And standing in the doorway of the shack is a group of 4 or 5 tall, male, female, you're not sure, but they have horns, white hair, glowing green eyes, this green regalia, and every single one of them is carrying what appears to be a long rifle. The kind that you would expect to see in a museum these days, an old model Springfield. You're not sure what the cocking was from, but he appears to be pointing it up into the sky and just looking at it and talking with the others in the group excitedly in Sylvan.
She breathes out a sigh, lowers her gun, and puts it away. Are they looking at us, or are they just minding their own business?
They appear to be minding their own business, but it is weird to see a fae carrying a gun.
Yeah.
And especially in the middle of the Witchmarket, it is weird. It's kind of in the direction you were heading, but you would no longer be going straight towards the mountain. You would have to angle a little bit towards the right.
Okay.
There is one other landmark I think we should be looking for here. Maz, did you share what you read on your card?
I think you would have presented it to the group.
Okay.
My guess is maybe the tall domed building is the Clocktower, but I'm not sure how fake clocks work.
Is there a clock on it?
You do not see a clock. You would have to give a perception check.
I've been doing great with those. 18.
Oh, look at that. 20.
I don't think it's fair to say Bonesaw's looking for a specific thing, so I'm not going to roll for it.
Bonesaw's looking for everything.
What's this? What's this?
Bonesaw's eyes are occupied. We'll just put it that way.
Jasper, you see far off to your right, just barely above some of the tents, what appears to be a clock. It looks like it is spinning counterclockwise, though.
Can I read the face?
It is too far away.
Okay, just checking to see if it had 12 digits or if it was written in Sylvan, or... I will point it out, say, there's a clock tower over there. That might be a good spot to reconnoiter for you there, Maz. But Myra, did you want to put that coin in the fountain?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take our little friend home. And she continues on to the fountain.
You're not sure how long it's taken you, but it has not been a straight path towards the fountain.
Oh.
It has been a lot of going around, going down several rows, cutting across, going up. If you had to guess, you would say you've been traveling for the better part of an hour.
Oh.
Jesus.
Wow.
It didn't feel like it until you sat and just thought about it at this moment. You realize, wait, has it been an hour? Holy shit.
Myra looks at the coin and says, "Excuse me, miss, you seem to be able to kind of move on your own. Would you mind taking yourself back to the fountain? We seem to be having trouble navigating."
She gives you a half-lidded look of just like, come on now.
Okay, I just was wondering. I didn't want to be rude. Okay, we'll take you there. Don't you worry. And she pockets the coin and she goes, "Yeesh."
I say we carry on towards the fountain, but if we see anything really interesting, if we want to look at it on the way, we should just take the opportunity while we're there. End goal fountain, but enjoy the journey, you know?
Are those people with the green outfits still in sight?
Yes, and in fact, it looks like 4 more have joined outside, and you actually see them coming out of the shack now, carrying the guns. One of them is carrying what appears to be just a pile of sticks that he drops on the ground, and then they assemble themselves into the appearance of a... Have you ever seen the Arbalesque, where they had the guns on the stands but had a shield in front?
Like a tripod?
Yeah, kinda. That's what it assembles up into. So, like, the gun comes up and out of this dropped pile of sticks and a shield comes up.
Okay, Myra pulls a Bonesaw, completely forgets everything she's doing, and says, "I gotta get me one of those," and walks towards people in the green.
Oh, all right. Cool guns, let's go.
Not gonna let anybody out of our sight.
You begin to follow, keep going towards it, and eventually you get close enough and you see the sign that reads, Boffer's Bows and Blasters. And just as you're approaching, you get a better idea of what this little shop is doing and what these folk are doing and saying, and they're all chatting in Sylvan. Jasper, you're the only one who understands it. They're all chattering about how they're excited to get back on the hunt with these new weapons. That they're excited to try and take down some of the prey.
I bet they're part of the wild hunt.
Good guess.
One of them whistles and this giant lumbering green hound comes almost out of the thin air, and pretty much right as you arrive, the door opens one final time and you see this massive man looking fairly similar to the others in a green robe, but rather than just small curled horns, he has a massive rack of antlers, a helm pulled down over his head, a jagged crown going around. He stands a good 2 feet taller than any of these others. And when he comes out, he is carrying not a rifle, but what appears to be almost this giant tube that is just smoking from both ends.
Is that a fucking bazooka? Do we have bazookas?
You sense a glow and a thrum of power from this.
Yes!
He looks around at all of his friends who have snapped to attention, pulls his leaf cloak around him as he draws his hand up and says, Hunters! It is time for us to return to the wild. Mount up and let us let loose the dogs. And he pulls a horn out and blows, and it is the most sustained note that you have ever heard in your life of a war horn. It seems to drown out everything, and just you feel this pit in your stomach as it continues on. You're not sure how long it lasts. Could be just a few seconds, could be a millennia. But when it finishes, horses, pure white, except for their green manes and glowing green eyes, appear. Each of the hunters climb up on and begin to urge them on, rushing off and disappearing in a wave of leaves. And you're left alone in front of the market.
I'm sure that's the last we saw of them.
Jasper has kept up a little running commentary of interesting things people are saying, just so that others can participate and comment and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that was that there wild hunt.
Wow, that guy's got style.
Yeah, no kidding.
Sure did have a loud tutor there.
You think we should add a horn to the show, Mozzie? What do you think? Loud horn?
No. Fiddle does not work with horn.
Well, you're the musical expert.
They used to blow one at the beginning of every Shakespeare show.
Really? I didn't know that.
That was how they announced there was a play going on.
And then Shakespeare died. How'd that work for him?
Well, yeah, I guess that's technically true. There's no arguing with that there, Moss.
Do y'all go inside?
Myra is slithering in. She needs to see what's going on, and she's looking around to see if there are any more of those green folk.
No more when she goes inside.
Okay.
At first, it doesn't seem like there is anybody manning this shop. However, after looking around a little bit, you see what appears to be a small beetle, a little blue beetle, sitting on a chair that has... He has pushed up next to a small workbench, a lot of very small, minuscule tools that he's working on, just tinkering away. Along the walls, it is a panoply of weapons, and it is incredible. You see swords, glowing bows of various make. They're recurve bows, but they look to be so light that you could pull them back with a single finger. But what is most incredible to you, Myra, is you see what appears to be a large wall filled with guns. But as you look at them, they are weird. The loading mechanism is completely unlike any gun you've ever seen. Moreover, the more you look at them, there is not a speck of metal anywhere on them. Or at least no metal that you recognize. It is polished wood, it is brilliant stone, and each one seems to have a glowing rock in the middle, somewhere on it, but none of them are made of traditional weaponry. There are other more unique things along the wall, including devices very similar to what you saw the Earl King carrying out, and then a door going into the back of the shop.
The Earl King being the badass dude.
Yes, the big badass dude carrying a...
Gotcha.
Not a bazooka.
Okay.
A blaster.
Blaster.
The blue beetle looks up and says, "Oh, welcome to my shop.
Oh my god.
Can I... You are... Oh, you are not Fae, are you?" He adjusts some of his glasses. No. You are mortals. Oh, don't get many mortals in this shop.
Hi.
What language is he speaking?
He started in Sylvan, but then when he saw that you weren't Sylvan, he switched to English.
Okay.
Two of his hands, he's kind of rubbing them together happily. The other two are fiddling with a little screwdriver on what appears to be just a very tough screw that he's having difficulty pulling apart. Yes, I am... My name is Boffer. I am the one who runs this shop and has made every single weapon that you see in here. Please, look around, and I am happy to answer any questions.
Myra's jaw's on the floor.
You made all this ironmonger, all this stuff?
Oh, iron? No, I would not touch that.
Oh, sorry about that. I realized after I said it that was a faux pas, and I apologize.
No, I use a much better type of weapon. It is this, and he picks up a crystal that is almost as the size of his entire head, but is pretty small compared to all of you, and says, "This is the heart of all of my arcane slingers and blasters. This is the answer to that mechanical monstrosity that you carry on your hip. I mean, no offense. Monstrosity is..."
No, it's fair. I think, honestly, everything we mortals have made compared to frankly, your beautiful, miraculous weapons, and she runs a hand along one of the guns. And she goes, the stuff that we make just can't compare to this. This is beautiful.
Why, thank you. I do take quite a bit of pride, and I do see that, well, honestly, there is a lot that we Fae should be learning from all of you. Some of my brethren think that keeping to the old ways is always the best, but if we kept to the old ways, it would put us behind, and we wouldn't be able to keep up with you as much.
I agree. I think we can both learn a lot from each other.
Yes.
And she has no idea if this is, like, socially weird, but she puts her hand down to, like, offer him a lift up, and she says, "May you please show me some of your weapons?"
Yes. Do you have anything that you are in particular interested in?
She pulls out her current rifle, and she looks at it, and she goes, "Well, I'm missing a finger, and I guess something that can fit my hand a bit better would be nice. Also, I'm in a profession of protecting people from particularly dangerous revenants, so if you have anything that is special against particularly hostile ghosties."
That is interesting. Yes. And he looks at the hand, kind of glances up at her, and then just on his back, wings come out, the little beetle wings, and he just
Oh, you can fly it.
flies over to the stack of weapons. May I see your hand? I want to see what we are working with.
She presents her hand.
He starts going over it, holding each finger with, like, 2 hands, and 6 hands at a time, so he's, like, looking at it, examining. Interesting. Do you have a preferred trigger finger, now that this one is missing?
Well, I guess either my middle or my ring. Sometimes I use them 2 together, because one of them is not quite as strong as my original pointer finger, so I normally use these 2, and she holds up her middle and ring finger together, so she's not flicking them off.
He taps his fingers together very excitedly and says, "All right, middle and ring fingers of a humanoid about yay high. Give me 1 second." And he flitters through that back door, crawls underneath it, and you hear some rustling. You guess you have a minute or so.
Myra turns back to the group excitedly, and she says, "We can totally come back later and, deal with Maz's thing," but she has a bright light in her eyes, and she is just absolutely giddy like a child.
Myra, you've got to get something for yourself, too! What's the point of coming to the market if we don't go shopping?
I think I definitely will. I guess I need to figure out what the price is, but I think I definitely will, but maybe I can tell him we'll come back a bit later.
I get the sense in a place like this that may or may not be an option.
I see.
I don't know, we could always ask.
I also feel that if you strike a bargain, it's going to be fulfilled somehow.
True. Fair.
I think if you were to pay in advance, that they would be obligated. They would not want to deal with bearing an obligation for all eternity. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm curious as to what the price is on something like that. I got a hankering for a request of my own when he returns.
Okay. She kind of sits there excitedly, vibrating.
One thing's for certain. I'm grabbing a drink before we go and see my lawyer. I don't sign contracts sober.
Great plan. Solid plan.
As I want to see what they're drinking here. It's got to be pretty wild.
Yeah, you guys are welcome to do that. I don't think I'm going to eat or drink anything while I'm here.
Boffer eventually comes back. The door actually swings open, and you see in the back, it looks like everything that you're seeing out here is the small end of the weaponry that he makes.
Oh.
The small end?
Yes, as in, you see what appears to be a cannon. A sword that is about 3 times as long as Bonesaw is tall.
Oh. Myra is just, like, resisting every urge to be like, I want a bazooka, I want a bazooka.
This sword would take you 2 days to swing.
He brings the gun over to Myra and holds it out and says, I think this is what you are looking for. Oh, wait. And he pulls out a screwdriver, gets underneath the trigger and pops it off, and pulls out another trigger, sticks it in. It's a bit longer than the first trigger. Sticks it in, does a little screw driving, and passes it over. No other way to describe it. It looks like a wooden Art Nouveau style repeating rifle.
Oh, that's so cool.
It has a vine pattern for the main cocking mechanism. The main body is made of this long wooden shaft of a wood that you've never seen before, but it's this brilliant deep red that just shines as it turns. It has a sight mechanism on top similar to yours, but rather than a metal tube, it's a single golden crystal that you can look through. And it appears to provide the same magnification. And sitting in the main chamber mechanism, you see a glowing blue crystal. He says, this is it is a special weapon that I've made a little while ago, based on some of the new designs by your, what is his name? Remington. Anyway, I borrowed some of his designs. I think it is very similar to what you currently use, but I have modified the trigger mechanism so that it can work while being held without a trigger finger, and it'll work with your middle and ring finger with the same amount of force and accuracy as it normally would. The entire body is made out of a single carved piece of wood that it took me quite a bit of trading to get, but I believe this should be what you are looking for. The downside of this is that it would not work with your conventional bullets. It would fire an energy blast of cold energy.
Okay.
So mechanically, rather than doing bludgeoning and piercing damage, this does just pure cold damage.
Oh my god. Okay, so it won't work with regular ammunition. So do I need to get special ammunition for this bad boy?
He explains that each crystal holds up to 10 shots per day.
Okay, cool. Cool.
So it recharges on its own?
It recharges at the start of each day, and he shows you how you can insert different crystals. So if you wanted to change it from being the blue cold damage, you could insert
This is
a
so
red
cool.
fire damage or a green acid damage. Each one taking 10 shots.
I'm going to drop all my money and my soul for this gun.
Careful what you say.
Let's start with just the money.
I have 8,645 gold pieces. I will give you all of them. And more for this gun.
You need lessons in negotiation.
I mean, that's cheap for this kind of gun. If this is way more expensive than 8,000. It doesn't even come close, so...
My guess is it's not gonna be gold.
Boffer clicks his fingers and says, I do have a little use for your coinage. I'm afraid, though, if you really wish to use this... And he thinks for a second, flies over to a giant book, opens it up very laboriously, and says, do you have a firstborn child?
Oh. Well, I guess, I suppose that's quite a price.
We have a Bonesaw.
No, we're not trading people. We don't trade family. Stop it. I don't have a firstborn. I got no children.
Okay, then we'll move on. Could potentially I could take your color sight for that.
Myra, can I negotiate on your behalf for a moment?
Yeah, sure, Jasper. Go ahead.
All right. We're mortals.
Yes.
And you have an interesting economy here. I do have something that I can offer that you may not have here. Like I said, our craftsmanship is nowhere near as good as yours. However, if you'll relinquish this weapon to Myra, I can offer you one of 4 stories by our greatest storyteller. And you would have your choice. I have a story about a man who wants to be king so badly that he betrays his own king and dies on account of it. I have a story, these are all stories about kings. I have a story about a king who is old and decides to give his kingdom away and suffers because of it. There is a story of a man whose father was king and is murdered, and he must seek revenge. And there is a story of a king who is oblivious to the fate that befalls him, and is a theme of fate versus free will. He is murdered, and nothing goes well for anybody in that one. Would one of those interest you?
Boffer strokes his chin and says, those are some wonderful offerings, and stories do carry weight. You are willing to give these up. They sound like they are quite special to you.
They are extremely special. I have carried them for a long time. However, I'm offering you a choice of one of the 4. You choose.
He looks over at Myra, looks at Jasper, and says, that $8,000. And the final story. For those, I think we have a deal.
I'm Jasper, are you absolutely certain? We already did this whole deal where, we gave up something special, and I don't know if we should go through that again. If this is special to you, I can find something else. And my color vision, honestly, I don't really use it. And I'm just really worried that you may not get it. Well, you won't get it back. You won't remember it, is what I'm guessing.
I take your meaning. But yeah. I am willing to give this up, because if there is one thing that our world is wealthy in, we may not have all this here magic at our fingertips and disposal, but if there is one thing that we do have, it is stories.
Aww.
Yeah, I'm fine with this. You want that last one?
Yes. I should be able to get a pretty penny for that over at the memory bank. Thank you.
Okay.
Aww.
I will take out my hunting knife, which I do keep very, very sharp. I will open the book, and I will cut out the last quarter of it and hand over the story of Julius Caesar.
As you pass this over, and as Myra hands over the money, you feel yourself unable to fully remember the words of Julius Caesar. You're not sure if you'll ever be able to remember it again.
Tragedy.
But, for now, Boffer passes over the gun to Myra and says, would you care for one of the other crystals? I will throw that in as a bonus.
Yes. Is there, radiant type?
Ooh, positive energy.
Asking the real question.
Yeah.
He considers for a second, flies into the back, and comes back and is holding a crystal that is almost too bright to look at, and he's kind of bouncing it between his hands. It says, "This should work. I will warn you that I would not recommend using it to try and heal. It is, this is pulled directly from the positive energy directly. It will, it is strong."
Understood. I think this will just be used to go after revenants, asking the DM questions. Will this be effective against revenants, or will this be not a thing that would work?
It will be very effective against revenants. It will do normal damage against humans. I'll need to figure out exactly how much extra damage it'll do against undead, but it will do extra damage against undead.
Okay.
Whoa! Watch where you point that thing. Sorry. I'll be extra careful around you guys.
And as you take control of both this gun and the extra crystal, you can feel this power bind with you, and you hear a voice in your head that says, "We will do much good together."
It's intelligent!
We have too many voices in our heads.
Be careful what you wish.
Myra, stunned, looks at the group and says, "Y'all heard that, right?
Heard what?
Is the gun supposed to talk to me?"
All guns talk to people.
Oh, my apologies. I can get rid of that intelligence if you don't want it. Sometimes it happens with the magic of this place. It gains a bit of a mind of its own.
She kind of thinks at it and says, "Hi, gun."
Myra 4.
She says, how do you feel about helping people best we can?"
Wonderful.
That was very unsettling, but I'll take your word for it.
It helps people remove their head from their shoulders.
I was gonna say, do you have a name, or should I name you? I'm not very good with names. I think I'm gonna call it Morning Glory.
Ooh. I love
A
that.
wonderful name. Morning Glory. We will bring justice. Myra Sting.
She's got a real bad feeling about this, but she takes this gun and she hugs it, and a tear goes down her eye, and she's like, "Okay, I'm done. I'm good. I got my thing."
Boffer claps his two sets of his hands together and says, "Wonderful, I'm so glad you enjoy it. If you need any more assistance, you should be able to find me quite easily in the market now. I tend to move around, but you are one of my customers, and we will make great works together."
Of course.
Moz is gonna lean over to Bonesaw and whisper, "I think Myra's more emotional about having a gun than when she got her pet."
I thought the gun was sort of another pet.
Who can keep track these days?
Boffer looks around and says, "Can I show you anything else? Would you like something larger, perhaps? I can show you my blaster." Or the bombard.
I'd love to see your blaster, just for fun.
Come with me. And he flies into the back room.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Do you all want to see a blaster?
Absolutely.
Sure.
I'm not letting go of this here rope.
Jasper, what are you looking for in a gun?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why this here book is missing this last pages.
Oh. Well,
Oh, I'll figure that out later.
let's go check out the blaster.
You step into the back, and if the front of the house was impressive, the back is... It contains weaponry on a size that is baffling. You have not seen weapons this large, and frankly, from what you saw on the outside, this room is much bigger on the inside than it seemed. It is about the size of like an airplane hangar, and it has everything from what appears to be a Gatling cannon with just a row of these crystals ready for firing. There is a cannon larger around than Maz's torso. He points at the back to a mounted cannon that is longer, taller, and wider than a steam engine. Like a steam train.
Jesus.
And he says, that is Boffer's Bombard, a mortar. I have yet to fire it. It will be a glorious day when it goes boom.
You said you made all these weapons yourself.
Yes, I have.
Can I just ask, practically, I really don't mean any offense, but you're like this big. Ow!
He flies up in front of Bonesaw. Are you saying that I am too small?
No, not at all. I'm
Too
just
small
curious.
to make something as big as this?
Well, what do you want me to say?
The truth.
Preferably nothing.
I am pretty confused about how that works, actually.
He gives a small grin, and then boom! Suddenly standing in front of you is a 6-foot-tall beetle.
Whoa!
Oh, very cool. Oh, that explains. That's fine. Thank you. I really just... I had to ask. Burning question. It's one of those ones you can't keep it in, you know?
His wings rustle a little, sounding more like sheets of metal now, rather than just the little buzzing that you heard before. And he says, it is not easy to maintain a larger form, but occasionally it is necessary. And boom, he shrinks back down.
You know, I feel that. Gives me the shakes, right proper.
Now, is there anything else I can get for you? Any weapons, swords, guns, ammunition, bows?
What have you got for this guy right here? He points at Jasper.
He flies up to Jasper and says, you have a wonderful weapon already, but perhaps... He flies out and then returns quickly with what appears to be a large-barreled single-shot gun. This has several uses. I can provide you with charges for a way to light the dark in the night, a flare, or there's another option. It is a bit more explosive that you can put in.
Is the gun he's holding one-handed, two-handed, rifle, pistol? What's it look like?
It is one-handed. It looks a bit like a flare gun, except the barrel is larger.
All right.
Jasper will look at this and say, No. I appreciate the offer. That's not the sort of thing I'm looking for, and I'm not even sure that you have what I'm looking for.
Try me.
Well, let me show you something here. Bear with me. I'm going to pull out one of my revolvers. This is a mighty puny weapon compared to what you folks are able to produce, but it was produced by my kind. This is called a revolver. Now, if you look here, and I'm going to flip out the revolving portion, and say, this here part holds ammunition, and we have to load these one by one. We fire them till they're gone, then we have to reload. Now, that is the most dangerous time for somebody who is in a fight, is when your gun is out of ammunition and you've got to sit there and poke all these little metal slugs into the back of that thing, flip it back together. During that time, you don't have a lot of defense. So I don't know if you have something like that or if it would have to require commission. I carry a lot of ammunition on me. Is there anything that you have in your repertoire that can put that ammunition I have into the gun without requiring any action from me?
He grins widely and buzzes over without even hesitating and picks up a bandolier off of the wall and brings it over to you and says, This is what you're looking for. It holds all of the ammunition and more than it seems. It holds even more, and you would not need to worry about reloading. You would be able to continue to fire as much as you need to on simply a command.
Interesting. How much would something like that run me? I've already given up something pretty precious, I'm pretty sure. God, what was it?
Hey, let me foot the bill for this one. And she pats Jasper on the shoulder and she says, "You did me a solid. Let me help you."
Wasn't Pompey the Great? I'm a little bit lost right now. Augustus? No. One of them Roman folks.
He considers and says, This one is not nearly as expensive. I suppose, and he flies back and looks at his book.
Myra kind of raises her hand and says, "What about a dark secret?"
Ooh.
He considers for a second. A dark secret? How dark are we speaking? Something you would not tell even those who you are friends with.
I don't think that's really possible. I mean, we know everything about each other, and I'm pretty sure there aren't any left.
Bonesaw, I'm sorry, but I did tell you quite a bit, but there's one or two things I haven't been so honest about.
What?
And I think this might be worth it. And she leans down and says,
Wait, if she gives you the secret, can she still tell it later?
She would be giving up the secret.
Well, let me pitch how about a vivid revenge fantasy? Well, what would that get us?
Absolutely. What? No. Did you actually enact this revenge?
No, but there's a lot of feeling behind it.
I'm sorry, the perspective, if you wanted to give something for a perspective, you would probably have to speak with the management at the memory bank, but that's your best chance.
What about blood?
I'm not exactly like the person in the first Potions.
Venom?
I can tell you that whatever it is, it probably will be revealed in time. So I don't think it's gonna be a lock on whatever it is.
Tell me your secret.
Okay, I will text it to you.
Yes.
It just seems a little strange that you would share such close personal details with a complete stranger and not your very close friends.
You whisper this to Boffer, and he looks at you and says, I'm afraid you overpaid.
What?
He blinks and flies up and returns with one bullet that appears to be shimmering, and he holds it out to Jasper along with the bandolier and says, say the material that you want when this bullet is loaded, and it will be that. So effectively, when this bullet is loaded, you can call out what material you want it to be.
Oh, that's cool. It's like a wild card.
Yeah, it is a silver bullet. It is a adamantine bullet. It is whatever you want.
Okay. One-use bullet.
Once per day.
Whoa.
Goodness.
It can be any material.
Oh.
Holy
Plutonium. You're not dead.
Diamond bullet. Let's just fish him out.
Yeah, so in addition to what is known as the beneficial bandolier, you now have the any metal bullet, which is a new thing.
Interesting.
What was such a dark secret that you got a fun magic bullet out of it? What?
Bonesaw wishes he had secrets that good.
I'm certain he does. Trust me. It's very personal, so maybe that's why it cost. Its price was so high. I think if there's emotion tied to it, I think it tends to make it more valuable.
Boffer nods and says, "That is true. The more emotion that is in a memory, the more emotion that is behind an object, the more valuable it is here." Myra, as you try to remember the secret that you told, you feel it slipping from yourself.
This is gonna be great.
You don't remember what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, can we go like a single arc without lobotomizing Myra?
No, maybe you can sleep.
Oh, this will be so good, though.
Oh my god!
And with that, we're gonna end tonight's episode.
Yes!
Woo!
I got a really cool
Amazing
thing.
session
Myra got a
playing.
really cool thing, and I don't remember one of Shakespeare's worst plays. Only play he ever wrote that has no sex in it.
Dust and Blood is a Rolling Path production featuring Corinne Hill as Myra Sting, Blake Alfson as our GM, Zach Parker as Maz Copernicus Pryor, Keith Curtis as Jasper Graves, and myself, Gail Parker, as Bonesaw. Our theme song is Dust and Blood by Arne Parrott, and other music throughout this recording is provided by Kevin Macleod, Tabletop Audio, Dark Fantasy Studios, and the Desperados 3 original game soundtrack by Filippo Beck Peccoz. Transcripts, detailed sound credits, and more can be found on our website at DustAndBloodPod.com. You can follow us on X and Facebook at DustAndBloodPod, or support us through our Patreon at Dust and Blood, where you can join our community Discord and get perks like our behind-the-scenes discussion show, The Roundup. We are so grateful for the support of our fans, people like Haz, Highland, Sleeve McDykel, and 50 Sloths of Grey. Dust and Blood releases monthly on the 1st, and our next episode is coming at you on January 1st. Content warnings can be found in every episode description, and we hope you enjoy exploring this fantasy western with us. Thanks for listening.
My eyes shoot open to the early morning sun. I feel that aching, pounding, poking of a bullet in my lungs. Skinny ceiling, bones crunching. I feel that wretched ancient something drag me up to face that coward son of a gun. His face grows wide as he fumbles for his holster. I feel the lead pierce my shoulder, neck, and chest. I scream that I have died 100 times and lived 1,000 years, and I'll be damned if a boy like you is gonna be the best. Yes, I'll be damned if a boy like you is gonna be the best.
How long does that there scroll last there, Bones?
I am consulting my character sheet. Where the hell is
Oh,
it?
that sounds like a marvelous thing to be able to do.
Here's the question that I'll be very interested to see if you guys can figure out who Jack is supposed to be.
He keeps asking me, he's like, who do you think Jack is? Who do you think Jack is? And I'm like,
Jack the Ripper?
if he's not Jack the Ripper and he's not Jack the Giant Killer, then I'm out of Jacks. Like,
Well, there was Murderer's Alley, which would be a clue.
the belt around his neck.
He did seem to have an obsession with London. Mm-hmm. The only thing I can think of is there's also I think it's called Jack of the Rushes, who's kind of an Irish boogeyman, or I think that's the name.
Blake's silence is telling.
Jack-o'-lantern kind of a thing.
I say nothing.